Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is a how to build for the brand new Summer Freyja. I know I'm a little late. I did pull her on Tuesday or maybe whenever I uploaded that video I pulled her. And I forgot to how to build. I don't know why I forgot to do it, but I forgot to do it. So anyway, let's get into it. So let me actually put the right gears on her. That would actually be very helpful. And now we can continue. Currently she's got 63,000 CC, that's of course at 1.6, but everything else on her is perfect. She has perfect attack crit damage gear with all outfits and relic as well. So of course the only extra CC you can now get is if you're either running HP defense with perfect HP defense, or you got a 6.6 of course, which is 400 CC per ult level, so it's around another 2,000 CC for 6.6, which is quite big now I actually think about it. To her substats, so her substats are pretty good. Very high crit chance, very high lifesteal, decent crit damage, which is nice. Pierce rate is decent because she's a pierce card. Resistance is okay. Crit resistance and crit defense are okay. Crit resistance is a little bit on the lower side. Crit defense is actually very good. Of course, recovery rate and regen rate are normally very low stats anyway, so it's not really a problem. Onto her cards, which is a pierce single target skill, which is pretty normal nowadays. Most characters have a pierce skill of some sort because pierce is probably one of the strongest cards in the game, like I always say. It interacts with defense-related stats and damage reduction a lot different. I don't actually know what it does, but it just interacts with it much differently, and you can see the difference between a pierce card and a normal card, because pierce cards always seem to do a lot of damage, no matter if you're hitting into like 20% damage reduction or 60% damage reduction, they'll still end up doing more than a lot of other cards. Of course, some cards do hit harder, for example Amplify, but Amplify is a very broken skill. Onto another card, this is her brand new skill. She is the only one who actually has the skill, it's called Extermination. So it ignores 50% of crit resistance and does 2 times crit damage, which is actually very good. Bear in mind she's already got 117% crit chance, the ability to ignore then crit resistance, and then if you then mix that with Interior, you're ignoring roughly, with that card you're ignoring like 90% crit resistance, between like 70 and 90% crit resistance, which is a lot of stuff to be ignoring, especially for a character like Freyja who can hit very hard. When we get onto her passive you'll see. Pardon me. Onto her ultimate, same normal Freyja Abyssal. Very strong card, especially if you look at the multipliers. Like 6.6, that's the same as Green Escanor's single target ult. This is an AoE ult, and it has Abyss to it as well. Of course, you've got Wave, which lowers the damage dealt. It's not that percentage goes down, it lowers the damage dealt per enemy on the field. So this makes it so that she actually excels when there's less people on the field, which is kind of good because she does have the ability to one-shot people. So then the ability to ult, and then there's only 2, so you're doing 40% less damage. It's not too bad. Of course, she does excel on Demonic Beast a lot, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But she can deal a lot of damage very quickly, which is always nice. Onto her passive. So her passive is unfortunately PvP only, but she's still a nice character to rock. Increased the hero's basic stats by 8% for every applicable ally on the field. And then applies a fascination on the enemy with the highest CC at the start of battle. Fascinated enemies can only attack Freyja, dealing 40% less damage. So normally 40% less damage is good. 40% less damage is it's literally just saying they do 40% less damage. It's like having 40% damage reduction. I'm pretty sure they don't work the same, but it's like saying that. Which is kind of good because Gizlane was attack-related stats, sorry, attack, I think, or attack-related stats. I think it's attack-related stats. So that means characters like the Ultimate One and bloody Mael will not be affected by it, which is kind of insane, but with Freyja, they still hit very low. And what I have found out is that for some reason she tanks extremely well. I have no idea why she tanks so well, but she tanks extremely well. What I mean by that, I mean I'd Fascinate on I think it was a Melee, right? Melee went full into her, I killed Melee, it was fine, all good. But Escanor dropped down. Escanor put 2 level 3s into her and she was completely fine. Of course it was over 2 different turns because it was a 1v1, but still. She still tanked it very well and was able to dish out a lot of damage. Of course, this debuff, her debuff could not go with Mark, which is Gizlane's, and Coerce, which is whatever his name is. Gallant. It doesn't also work with Gallant. And theoretically, you could use all 3 at the same time. The only problem would be is that you wouldn't be able to stack. You wouldn't be able to get her passive, which of course only works with Ragnarok's Unknowns. Anyway, let's get on to the rest of her passive. In addition, increase the hero's damage dealt with skills with the Exterminate effect by 30%. That's by itself. And then when the hero's skill use results in crit damage, so it crits, One debuff is removed from the hero, which is just her, and all the hero stats increase by 5% up to 15%. So this is very good, because her ability to, of course, she only removes one debuff of herself, and I'm pretty sure it's the your oldest debuff it removes, so it doesn't remove the newest, so you can't remove like Infect if you've just been infected, or you can't remove the lower crit chance from Balm if you want to do that as well. Unfortunately, you have to remove the final one, or the first one. But this 5%, this 15% all stats is pretty big, especially when you then mix that with the fact that, of course, if you're running tier, you're gonna have really high crit. They're already gonna have really low crit. Crit resistance. So you're gonna have even higher crit chance, even higher crit damage. Of course, I'm running attack crit down on her, so that's the reason she's got 244. If not, it'd be 224. On to her relic. So we'll do her relic at the end because that's when I talk about Demonic Beast and her uses and all that kind of stuff. On to her ultimate. So her ultimate, do you need her 6/6? Preferably you'd want her 6/6 for PvE and PvP, but you don't actually need it. It's nice to have, but it's not needed. Of course, she is a seasonal, so of course she'll be very exclusive. And what I say is, if you're currently summoning to get Freyja, just get one copy and go. It's not worth going for multiple copies of Freyja, because she will eventually just be put into normal festival banners. Sort of like Wedding Day Brynhild. She was rare for a while, and they just started putting her on every festival, because that's what they end up doing, because, well, they're seasonal, but they also want to make them accessible, so the only way to do it is to put them in festival banners or other seasonal banners. But if they put them in other seasonal banners, those seasonal banners have to be good, and also they're Ragnarok as well, which means they have a chance of being on a default Ragnarok banner as like a filler character, which you see now and again with them adding random seasonals to Ragnarok characters banners. Onto gear, I am rocking attack crit dam. That is mainly because she is a DPS. She is built to destroy entire teams. Her ultimate, her skills, she is just meant to rip apart everything. Of course, I also have all her outfits, all weapons, and all headgears fully maxed out, because she's of course a Demonic Beast character, or the Red Freyja is at least. And now onto her relic. So her relic is her main part, which in my opinion makes her very worth it. She's a very good PvP character. Of course, with Demon King Soldiers coming, every character is going to take quite a large hit from it. But, if you're running Rag team, like you're using Rag Diane, everyone in the team has that 50% damage cap. Demon King only has it on himself. So, it's a slight advantage there. Also, Demon King does want to go second. So you may be able to take advantage of that and somehow kill him. It would take you all 3 cards and you'd have to hit damage cap every time, but you could do it. But her relic, of course, if you don't know what it does, in Demonic Beast Nidhogg, the single target attacks have cancel stance effects. That's even when the, let's say she is disabled by disable effect, it doesn't matter, she'll still be able to remove the stance, which is kind of cool. Increase all stats of allies by 4% every time the hero inflicts damage using a skill. So whenever she uses a skill, everyone in your team gets 4% all stats up to 20%, which is kind of nice. The hero is given the additional race of Goddess, which as well as something she works on the Goddess team as well, which is affected by Goddess's unique abilities. So that means Margaret, who else? Margaret, Mael. Don't know who else now. And I guess any other character that has a Goddess passive. If the allies on the battlefield are Goddess, each Goddess ally increases the hero's attack related stats by 10%. So you get between, I'm not sure, if this includes herself, she gets 40%. If it doesn't include herself, she still gets 30%. But 30% attack related stats, it's very big, especially for someone who has a skill which ignores crit resistance, especially on a Demonic Beast. Ignoring crit resistance on a Demonic Beast is a very, very useful skill, because I mean, they're pretty much always going to crit. And that's what you want in Demonic Beast. You want those crits, you want big damage, she's got a Pierce card. She's very good, especially I wouldn't say for the Goddess team. The Goddess team has a lot of DPS, it's mainly built about DPS, and then you have a healer, and then you've got a cleanser, and you've got like 2 DPSs. Where on the other teams like Rag, you've got like pretty much all DPSs, and you've got a healer, and you've got a cleanser. But they're also doing more other things as well. Where on the Goddess team, she is very good. Of course, if you don't have Red Freyja, I highly recommend summoning to get this Green Freyja. Even though we know that Zeldris is coming, Zeldris is only a 660 banner, and you can get diamonds during the event. It's out for 4 weeks, so as long as you, let's say you summon on Freyja, and you've at least got 300 diamonds left, let's just say, you will then have enough time to achieve the amount of diamonds you would need to do a full rotation on Zeldris. Because it's 660, if you're in Champ 5, every week, you're 50, you're doing all your dailies, that's another 50, so you just keep adding it up and you realise, well, you're making like 100 a week anyway, it's not too bad. But do I recommend summoning? Yes, she's a very good character. Of course, this is not a recommend summoning video, but she's a very good character. If you have her, definitely level her up, get her relic. If you have red, I still recommend grabbing green, just in case, you know, the demonic beast character is somehow a goddess. It might be, but I do think that they'll then be chucking out the fact that every other demonic beast character is a Ragnarok character. They may give a Ragnarok character the ability to be a goddess and a Ragnarok, just so it fits into both teams and make both parties happy, which is what I think they're going to do, and that's the reason they're struggling, because they don't want to make debuff immunity, because Magelda wouldn't work, and Skadi wouldn't work, but they also don't want to make it like too easy, so... But anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.